It's now 8:15 in the evening on the 31st of May 2020. It's my second video of the day. I don't usually do two talky videos in a day, but I just felt inclined to do so. So a few people have commented on my video earlier today that I uploaded with regards to how we all in unison seem to feel about the way we were treated at school. One size fits all education, and I'm speaking from 1975 onwards, okay? This obviously ends, the story ends for me in 1986 when I left school. So anything beyond those dates and before them, I haven't got a clue. I can only imagine they're better after and a lot worse before. But en masse, schooling in the UK was about breaking children. It was about making them very aware of what they're not succeeding at. It was a situation that was about reminding you on a very regular basis that any deviation from what was considered acceptable would result in violence against you. Comment on the video that I made from an old friend from the latter part of my teenage years spoke loudly to me, really did. My dear old friend told me that her husband had been shipped off to boarding school, and I would imagine that was at the age of 5, maybe even younger actually in the UK. We're very weird on private education in this country, very, very weird. And it didn't suit him, cried himself to sleep every night, and he's ended up in adult life, you know, the net result for him is a successful guy. I don't personally know him, but such is my love and trust for the woman in question. I no doubt he's a wonderful man. But he's never succeeded in any job where he's had a boss. You know, just an average 9 to 5. The only thing he's ever succeeded in is self-employment, and you know, he's very lucky in that. And God bless him for finding that and being able to pursue it. But you know, that suits this man. And with someone like me, I just can't find, you know, success of that kind in anything. And this isn't a sad thing. It's something which I find a great deal of strength in. You know, I used to fantasize a good 15, 20 years ago that I was sort of somehow perceived in a similar light to someone like Bill Hicks, you know, a bit of a maverick. And you know, but one of the things that he said that stuck with me for all these years, you know, well past my sort of fantasies of being of his ilk have passed, and that was him talking about bosses. And he said the very notion that anybody could be my boss is just utterly ridiculous. And you know, it's true. It's a situation that is a complete and total fantasy. It is a power structure which is just invented to make us more embittered towards those who are earning more money. They have more say over you, they do less. It's just reminding you, there's the structure of power, there's the structure of employment. Get used to it and shut the fuck up. And I can't handle that, you know. I just can't handle that situation. I don't respect it, I won't respect it, and it doesn't see me never really have a job that's lasted more than a few months. But you know, and I haven't got the wherewithal to do anything like self-employment. I'm completely skillless, utterly and completely useless. And in that, I couldn't give a damn. You know, a lot of people, when you say things like this, oh, you're good at this, you're good at that. I don't care. You know, I really, really don't care. It's something which I've found peace in of late, that I realise I'm going to scrape through this life. I'm not going to amount to anything in the kind of system's eyes, as it were. Do I care? I've cared a lot about it because from the cradle to the grave you're taught what success and its parameters are. I don't fulfill any of them, and I never fucking will. And just of late I've just thought so much, because of some experiences that came to me packaged as nightmares, that I now see you can't, or if somebody gets an idea in their head about you, or if the system treats you in a certain way that's never going to change, fuck all you can do about it. And I'm not going to spend a second longer trying to alter the opinions of people who are so entrenched that they're never going to move. I'm not going to try and fight structures and pyramids of power and suppression and control that have existed for millennia. And I've realised I am what I am. So be it. I am going to get through this life, and I am going to scrape through. And I think that the nature of the kind of person I am, underneath all of the damage that's occurred to me, probably in the years since I started school, going back to the beginning of all this, you know, I am what I am, and I'm not gonna spend a second longer fighting an undefeatable foe. And it's only a war if I consent to actually fighting. Well, during that rant, my daughter called me. I always take my iPad with me when we're not together, so I know she usually calls me at that time of the night, and I like those little intrusions. I think it's only fair to say at this point in time as well that, you know, there is a lot going on in my life, and it's been tough, it really has. But it being summer, having spent a lovely weekend with my daughter, just now it's what's the time, 9:31 in the evening, and just come indoors. Been speaking to my sister and my daughter on Skype for the last hour and a half now, I guess, since whenever that video started, or when I stopped with the video. And you know, life is okay. It's troubled, but that's nothing new to any of you people. But you know, the upside of this is that I am discovering, slowly but surely, you know, kind of what and who I am, and the reasons why, you know, life at this point in time, it's not just a breakup, it's not just a suicide close to me, it's many years that those two events were the capstone to, you know, they kind of blew the top of my Mount St. Helens, as it were, whatever that might mean. But you know, I realise, you know, in those cold days and winter, you know, look out the window now and it's beginning to get dark. It's a beautiful early summer evening. These are the days and the evenings that I dream of in the depths of winter. Life is far from easy, but I think that can't lose focus of the fact that all of this, and a lot of us who are suffering from issues, are doing so from the point of view that we've seen how good it can get, and we want to go back there, at least to a certain degree, and I certainly do. Last night I was it was around midnight, and I'd let my daughter have a late night, and she was fiddling around with the editor, photo editor on my iPad, and she'd got pictures of just people and situations that we've been in, and she'd made their faces and their teeth and their eyes massive, and we were having asthma attack inducing belly laughs, you know, wake the house up at midnight belly laughs. It was amazing. You know, life, it can be great, and I say all this over the months and the years because I know how great it can be, and I also want people who, in amongst all of it, flounder, as we all do at times, to know you're not alone. You know, there is so much of what I say to people, and people say, yeah, I've been there, when it's not quite so. Just, you know, and when I tell us of everyman tale like with schooling, and, you know, likewise with the comments I get, I just think, yeah, I've been there, you know, and I just think it's important in my own little way. No hero worship demanded, no delusions of grandeur. I just know how every man my story is. it's a path that is identical, but with differing houses that we enter on either side of our particular roads, you know, those of us who have trouble, you know. I went in that house on the left and had all sorts of hassles. You went in the right, you know, 100 yards down the road. We're on the same path, but we're entering different buildings, you know. We vacate and occupy differing areas. It's as simple as that. God bless. Take it easy.